Welcome back to Yanami and thank you for joining. After the Boruto time skip, one particular character was highlighted as the central figure of the plot, Shikamaru. This character, at least so far, was always used to reveal some sort of mystery that wasn't known to anyone on his side or the readers. But now we find him in a situation, or rather we find ourselves in a situation where we believe we know exactly what happened and who is responsible. We are observing him trying to solve the riddle. A little bit unusual, but that's because Kishimoto is such a good author. Just imagine the idea that we actually don't know anything or not even remotely what is actually happening or happened. What we know is what Amado more or less might have wanted us and Konoha to believe. That is what Kishimoto wants us to believe for the coming plot twist. If, for example, Amado was lying all the time and the entire goal is completely different from what we thought was the case, then in that case Shikamaru could reveal the truth to everyone, creating the perfect plot twist. Because that's what Shikamaru does, that's why his character exists to begin with. He will find out something that nobody expects. Right now, it's like a game of chess between Amado and Shikamaru. Let's talk about it. Shikamaru is the smart person with an immeasurable IQ of approximately 200. So what does this mean for his purpose in the Boruto series now that he has the position of the Hokage, or rather one step before truly becoming the Hokage? First of all, the fact that there is no new Hokage is important in itself because it was actually foreshadowed in the very first scene of the entire Boruto series. That is the moment when Boruto and Kawaki will most likely have their final fight, which is likely not the final fight of the entire series, but the final of their conflict. In that scene we got to know that Kawaki somehow defeated Hokage Naruto. At that time we didn't know for how long that was, but I believe most of us didn't expect it to be for several years, because there was no new Hokage ahead, making people believe that it was a recent event, especially seeing Konoha freshly destroyed as if Naruto disappeared only a moment before. But when Naruto actually disappeared even before the time skip took place, it was clear that there's an important and plot relevant reason why there won't be any new Hokage, and why Naruto so far was the last Hokage in Konoha. And with that, it's one of the most important aspects in Boruto, symbolizing the direction of the plot, the end of the Shinobi era, a concept outside the Otsutsuki interest, which was clearly hinted at in the most recent chapters when the council explained that Konoha's position was weakened, but it gets even more absurd. Now that it is revealed that although Konoha desperately tries to appoint a new Hokage, the one to become Hokage is actually the one holding back the process, and that person is Shikamaru. Now think about it, why would he do that? What exactly is his way of thinking to not take that position, although not taking the position is hurting not only Konoha within the Land of Fire, but also the people of Konoha because of the money they receive? How long will it take until Konoha loses its position as the hidden village due to trust issues, or even worse, loses its influence to people appointed by the Lord of Fire? No inner council anymore, and the Hokage will be a random person simply because the Lord of Fire no longer trusts Konoha. They don't know who killed Naruto, the hero of the world. Then there's also Sasuke the traitor together with his daughter walking among the people, and many more really weird things like Ada, Amado, Code, and the whole Otsutsuki hotspot situation. Under no circumstances should we underestimate the possibility of a complete distraction of the plot, when in reality the true plot will be about the destruction of the Shinobi era. The drastic change began with a new businessman who somehow replaced the old daimyo. The fact that this is important is seen alone by the fact that this became an entire arc in the manga. It's all about technology, advancement, finances, and so on. The old Shinobi valleys are all gone. The hidden villages are no longer hidden. Now they are tourist attractions and the place to be, to live, to visit. Usually plots not relevant are shown only in the anime, but here we got to know the son of the daimyo and with it the next heir, the economy of the new Naruto world, and the values. Being a shinobi is no longer what it was. Ninjutsu is replaced by ninja technology, and Shinjutsu surpasses ninjutsu in every imaginable way. What I'm trying to say is that since the beginning the focus was on the destroyed and changed world where shinobis have no place to belong anymore. But Boruto is the last pillar, holding everything together despite being deceived by technology once, and despite despite being an Otsutsuki, which is why he refuses to use most Genjutsus unlike Kawaki. But that's not everything. It was also mentioned that this behavior weakens the position among the other hidden villages and Hokages, meaning it could likely be true that Konoha could lose his position as a hidden village if they continue to delay the appointment of a new Hokage. And that, of course, makes everything even worse, causing more and more negative thoughts until Konoha ceases to exist. And yet Shikamaru keeps on pushing the time further and further, almost as if he's the villain trying to destroy the shinobi world. Obviously we know that this is not true, but it does look that way, especially because he also claims that he needs the Hokage position to assist Boruto. But he only came to that conclusion recently, I think even the same day in the series. So there must be another reason why he was first interested in the position before he found out that Boruto is actually Naruto's son, and the reason why he didn't fully take it, although he could. Based on that, he should have taken the position long ago. Keep in mind, Shikamaru is smart, he doesn't do things randomly. Everything he does has a certain purpose. He might have found a reason not to take the position for safety reasons. But the negative counterpart is so big that after 3 years he must have concrete evidence to back up his reckless strategy. So he's not telling the truth to everyone, not even Boruto. He may have said that he can only trust Ino, but that is also a lie. In reality, we all know in his position he can't trust anyone, so he's lying. Whom he can trust the most is the one who's the victim, that is Boruto, which is why he asked Ino to establish a connection. What I'm trying to say is that so far Shikamaru hasn't had an inner monologue for us to understand what he really believes, and he didn't even have a chance to secretly talk to even a single person to reveal his true thoughts to us. We assume he may know what we already know, but that's the whole plot twist. He knows a different truth, the real truth. So everything in his mind is waiting to be revealed if he finds the proof. And something about this truth prevents him from becoming the Hokage, which leads to the idea that the truth is not just about Akebi and Amado or the Otsutsukis, but something affecting the shinobi era in this world, explaining Kawaki's future wish to end the shinobi era and the missing Hokage position. Maybe it's some sort of plot to take away humans' chakra or something, because essentially humans stole it from the Otsutsukis through Kaguya eating the fruit, and with that receiving the chakra that was spread to Hagoromo and Hamura, and then over the course of 1,000 years to almost all of humanity. The chakra was not meant for them, although it originated from their planet and so on and so forth. For now, let's continue, then you will understand exactly what I mean. So in the first chapter, Kawaki said that the shinobi era is over, implying a global plot to destroy the shinobi world for some reason. And this is weird because that is actually something Kawaki should want to protect, as he wants to protect Naruto and his interests. And yet he seems to seek to destroy just that. Why is that? One could assume that because all shinobi in the world use a little bit of Otsutsuki chakra, he now considers all chakra in humanity to be evil, essentially expanding his goal from erasing all Otsutsukis to erasing all means to hurt or harm each other, almost Madara style, which is why it would fit so well in Boruto. But we all know that someone like Kawaki is always being manipulated, maybe Amado, maybe someone else. And it looks like there must be something that Shikamaru knows in that regard, something he figured out in his brain during the time skip while thinking constantly of Boruto, Kawaki, Ada, Amado, and so on and so forth, that goes beyond Amado, trying to revive Akebi, even beyond the borders of the Land of Fire. And the only other clue we have to understand what the secret could be was his request to Ino to bring him old mission logs. Of course, we know that he asked Ino to bring him the logs mainly because he wanted to establish a connection to her and then to Boruto. But if that were the case, he probably wouldn't have asked for a specific mission log from so long ago. So long ago doesn't sound like a few years. It sounds like something from Naruto or even before that, and it sounds very specific. Shikamaru said it was curiosity, but to be curious there must be some sort of intention first. He didn't say what the intention was, which indicates that he might have indeed found out something about someone, which reminded him of a mission he or someone he knew had participated in. Again, it doesn't matter what he told Ino. Remember, he can't trust her even if he says he does. Now we know that obviously Kawaki is the one who changed the past, and Kawaki is linked to Amado and Amado's linked to Ada and so on, which are also the characters he mentioned, meaning he clearly knows that the focus of the investigation must be on those three characters. What the mission log scene could indicate is that maybe Shikamaru recognized something about Kawaki, Ada or Amado from one of the old missions to then understand a certain aspect of that character which could lead him to solving the bigger picture that we didn't even get to know yet. As if they met in the past, or as if he remembers a mission where Ada and Demon were described, or maybe even Amado. Maybe this will then help Shikamaru understand the truth. I think it should be clear to everyone that Amado is lying, mainly because we didn't receive even a single inner monologue that goes deep into Amado's intentions. He never reveals his inner state, meaning we don't know what really is inside his head, only what he wants the people of Konoha, and with it us, as the audience, to know. Usually such characters are traitors, but since we know Amado is not an ally to begin with, there's something much more complex happening. And so I think that Akebi or Amado or whatever Kishimoto tries to make us believe is the plot of Boruto is actually not real. Certainly there's the issue with the Otsutsukis and the fact that they won't stop coming, and that Shibai was clearly foreshadowed to be either the villain or indicate that one of the gods will become the main villain. But that doesn't change that Amado has a goal of his own if he isn't an Otsutsuki himself, for example, and that goal might not even be Akebi, and maybe what Ada saw was just pre-programmed in her mind, just like Ishiki was likely just a hologram when he appeared in front of Code. Amado does this to deceive and control his cyborgs. Obviously, he wouldn't create a cyborg that can't control him, so he made certain precautions, like for example that Ada couldn't see his true past, and couldn't control him with omnipotence and the charm aspect of it. Just put yourself into Amado's shoes. Would you create a cyborg that has just a few abilities? That is to change the reality, which she can only do with Kawaki, and at the same time have an effect on others that then can't resist her demand. Why would he do such a thing that doesn't give him any benefits, in fact only makes his mission more difficult? Well, the only reason why is if she did exactly what he wanted her to do. Meaning, he knew before she changed reality that she will change reality, therefore when the reality change occurred, Amado's past knowledge of the fact that this change will occur signaled to him that she just changed reality, and with that he knows the truth. So if Amado made precautions and one of them is that Ada would confirm that Akebi is indeed real, then maybe Akebi is not real at all and Amado's true goal is actually the destruction of the shinobi era for some reason. Or maybe Akebi is real but died, for example, in the 4th Great Ninja War. That idea isn't far-fetched given the fact that Ao, for example, switched sides. After the war he was so physically disabled that he could no longer be a shinobi. And then it also seems as if he didn't receive the support and value he would have if he still had his physical capabilities. His sacrifice was treated unjustly and his state of being was seen with pity instead of honoring his deeds. It's very similar to real life if you think about it, and Kara essentially Amado gave him that meaning and life back, which ultimately made him a loyal Kara member. We can either think of this as a coincidence or believe that Amado somehow controlled Kara from the inside by manipulating everyone around, eventually inviting Ao because he shared sentiments. It's possible that Akebi might have died due to the 4th Great Ninja War or something related to that, or maybe she received a fatal injury that lasted many years and during that time not a single daimyo, hidden village or anything related to shinobis did anything, despite maybe the fact that the shinobi age even caused her illness or injury. Or maybe she died defending the cause of the shinobi world. Maybe Amado knew that she could be healed but didn't receive the necessary attention from people who knew how to genetically create clones and so on. The point is, if Amado lost his daughter to the mistake and the following ignorance and selfishness of the shinobi world for many years after the war, then it's plausible to assume that Amado might have the goal to destroy the shinobi era, which Kawaki ultimately seemed to want based on the first chapter, which contradicts Naruto's wish. This would be the only other possibility to explain Amado's origin and intention, but there's still the mystery of why many years ago Amado claimed to be much more advanced than now, 16 years later, even the best scientist in the world, implying that Amado comes from another era, maybe the future, but there's another possibility. That is the consumption of chakra fruits, which was hinted at possibly containing certain information. Maybe that's why Kaguya even changed her intentions after getting to know what other Otsutskis planned to do on that planet after biting into the chakra fruit. But someone must have given Amado the chakra fruit or the knowledge of the chakra fruit. And in fact, it did seem that he was once communicating with an unknown person who likely collected Jigen in Ishiki's body to create Jura. If that person is not Otsutsuki, then it could be that they have offered Amado knowledge in the form of chakra fruit or knowledge itself. Everything humanity knows could be in Amado's head or on his computer. And the promise to bring Akebi back if he in return uses the knowledge to revive Shibai, who then can manipulate the fourth dimension to revive Akebi. This mysterious person who might have approached Amado could be the partner of Shibai, and with that, the two missing Otsutsukis would be Shibai and whoever's manipulating Amado. Feel free to watch this video here for more information. So, what do you think of this theory? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, and if you want to see more Boruto content, then subscribe to this channel with the notification bell activated for more videos. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!